The hallway had always been loud, chaotic, and merciless, especially between third and fourth period at Briarwood High. Asterisk. The older students ruled that narrow stretch of corridor like a pack of wolves, and anyone who appeared weak or newbie came. Their target asterisk, Ms. Claire Avery, barely 25, walked those halls with a confident smile and a hopeful heart on her first day. A new literature teacher fresh out of grad school, she wanted to make a difference. She believed in kindness, in patience, in second chances. She had no idea what was waiting for her at Locker Row. Asterisk. Claire's first week passed with relative ease. Students rolled their eyes. Some didn't do the reading, but overall, she was managing. Her room had posters of Maya Angelou and Jane Austen. Her voice was calm. Her eyes, gentle, asterisk, but gentleness in Briarwood's halls was often mistaken for weakness. Asterisk. A group of senior boys, loud, arrogant, used to getting away with everything, noticed her quiet demeanor, and they smelled blood in the water. Asterisk. It began with murmurs. Asterisk. A shove of her rolling tote, a mocking mimic of her voice in the cafeteria. She pretended not to hear. She smiled and let it pass. Asterisk. Don't let them bait you, she reminded herself. You're here to teach. Learn respect in time. But the more she didn't respond, the more they escalated. Asterisk. On a rainy Wednesday, everything changed. Asterisk. Claire was walking down the hallway toward her classroom when the pack surrounded her. Asterisk. Students stepped aside, some pulling out phones. It was like a scene everyone expected except for her. Asterisk. She clutched her books, moving faster when Jeremy Clay, the ringleader, stepped in her way. Asterisk. Hey, Ms. Avery, he sneered. Love the modest look, but you'd look hotter with some ventilation. Asterisk. Before she could speak, he reached out and tore the collar of her shirt, the fabric ripping loud and sharp. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Claire froze. Her books dropped to the floor, her breath caught. Asterisk. And then something inside her snapped. She didn't scream, she didn't cry. She moved. Asterisk. With fluid precision. Claire turned, planted her feet, and in a blur of motion, drop-kicked Jeremy square in the chest. Asterisk. He flew backward, hit the lockers with a loud slam, and collapsed to the floor, groaning. Silence. Phones clattered to the ground. Mouths hung open. Nobody breathed. Asterisk. Claire stood over him, her torn shirt hanging from her shoulder, her chest rising with quiet rage. She looked around at the stunned students. My name is Ms. Avery, she said clearly. Not hot teacher. Not weak little woman. I'm your teacher. I will not be harassed. Asterisk. Nobody moved. Not even the bullies. Asterisk. Jeremy whimpered, crawling backward like a wounded animal. Principal Torres arrived within minutes. 2 staff members had already called it in. One witnessing the attack, security escorted Jeremy to the office. Claire was asked to sit down, to file a report. Asterisk. But by then, a dozen students had already uploaded clips of the kick. It was everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Asterisk. Hot teacher flips out. Asterisk. Karate teacher dropkicks bully. The captions were juvenile, but the message? Clear. Claire had studied taekwondo for 10 years. Her mother, a single parent and black belt herself, had taught her that self-defense wasn't just about strength, it was about knowing when to act. Asterisk. She never thought she'd need it at school, but that day she did, and she didn't hesitate. The fallout was swift. Asterisk. Jeremy was suspended indefinitely and required to attend disciplinary hearings. His parents threatened to sue until the school reviewed the footage. Asterisk. Claire, 2, was placed on temporary leave pending investigation. Asterisk. She sat at home for 2 days, questioning everything. Asterisk. Had she gone too far? Asterisk. Had she let anger win? Then her inbox flooded. Emails, messages, notes from students, from girls thanking her for showing that silence isn't always the answer. Asterisk. From boys admitting they never realized how bad Jeremy had become. Asterisk. From parents who had daughters too, scared to walk down the halls. Asterisk. and from faculty thanking her for doing what they couldn't. By the time the board completed their review, Claire was reinstated with full support. Asterisk, she walked into school the next Monday morning and something had changed. The hallway wasn't quiet out of fear. It was respect. Asterisk students nodded at her. Others moved aside politely. Asterisk Jeremy's group had scattered, some transferred, others kept their heads down. Asterisk Claire went back to teaching literature. But now, her words hit differently. Asterisk, when she quoted Maya Angelou, "I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. The class listened. Asterisk not because she shouted, not because she fought, but because she stood up. Final reflection, asterisk Claire didn't want to be a fighter. She wanted to be a guide, a teacher, a light. Asterisk, but sometimes, the world pushes gentle people until they roar. Asterisk, and when they do, the roar is unforgettable. Asterisk. That day in the hallway wasn't just a moment of violence. It was a moment of awakening. For Claire, for the students, for every quiet person who ever thought they had to take it, asterisk. Because being kind doesn't mean being weak, and standing tall doesn't always require words.